My fear of the ocean first came to me when I was called a wetback. You see, I was afraid of water, so I knew I'd never step foot in it, so technically I couldn't get my back wet. I learned that Poseidon was god of sea and was also the god of droughts. When I had a sea of people speaking English to me, I felt as if salt water had drowned my voice, and I had no idea what to say. When my mother speaks English, I know she feels the barbed wire fence, net around her tongue, and the flood of seawater choking her to death. I think it's the only thing we have in common. We are so afraid of things we don't know. The way we've only discovered 4% of the ocean, my mother is afraid to utter syllables that aren't in her dictionary. She's afraid to sink in seas she's never seen, and people can smell broken English from miles away, and we both don't want to be ripped apart by sharks. She's afraid the waves will drown us before we can scream for help, the same way English drowns her into confusion. My mother said the ocean swallowed her people whole, a lot like English eating her children's tongue, causing waves in between them. My mother's accent reminds me of tides and sea. My mother set sails for better futures, but vowels have her anchored in the middle of the sea. See, this is why I have a hard time navigating where the ocean begins and ends. We both don't want to be stuck in uncharted territory. She's under the pressure of unpronounceable words, the same way the pressure of the ocean is heavy on my shoulders. I know it feels a lot like being 5 and translating for her in doctor's office. The ocean reminds me of Spanish. It breathes the vida of my grandmother's soul. It was a lifeboat for me and my mother when we were both shipwrecked at sea. I'd always felt like I was floating until I'd be pushed on the shoreline with no way to communicate to my mother. She'd be shipwrecked at sea with nothing but fragments and conjunctions that she can kick herself afloat on, while ELL violently pushes me back onto the shoreline. I watch my mother struggle against the currents of English, trying to meet me at the sand. And just like that, me and my mother are afraid of things we don't know. One day, me and her will lay in the middle of the ocean with nothing but ourselves. We'll speak our motherland's language and hope the sea meets that land again. We'll be home, thanks to the ocean.